Hey, Diane. Yes, John. I'm live on YouTube at this moment.
We got about 3 minutes.
Yeah, because it's been a year. They went to the treatment studying it. Stress. Not.
Okay, let's bring the meeting to order, please. When we get our last sign in under the appropriate building. Yeah, the movie starts as soon as this meeting is over and they're showing Big. Big with Tom Hanks. Yeah. Okay, Bill, do you want to take attendance?
Diane? Chris? Joe? Alan is excused. Billy? Here. Marty? Kathy? Here. Teresa? Judy? Diana? Katie?
Katie is excused.
Okay. Okay, Katie's excused.
Right. Katie is excused. Okay, the minutes of the last meeting are April 28th, AGRC general meeting, so everybody should be reading through those by now. We'll give it a couple more minutes. Okay.
It's too snowy. Good. It's fresh.
If everybody would say hello to Nina, she's our new leasing person. Hi, Nina. You can't get away from anything here.
Enjoy your holiday, everybody.
Yes.
What's it actually verified that the laws were changed?
We'll get to that when we get to actually accepting the minutes, but the answer right now is absolutely yes.
Thank you. You're welcome.
Did everybody finish reading?
Hey, Diane, I've got a black mic and I'll cover the back if someone will cover the front with a black mic.
Okay, Judy, will you cover the front when we need the mic?
You'll share a mic.
Where does it go?
Nowhere yet, not yet.
When needed. When needed.
Is that too much?
Did everybody finish reading? Any additions, corrections, or deletions to the minutes of April 28th? Additions, corrections, or deletions? Seeing and hearing none, all those in favor of accepting them as submitted, please raise your hand. Anyone opposed? Thank you very much. Turn it over to Joe for the treasurer's report.
Treasurer's report for the month ending April 30th. We started with a bank balance of $5,283.
You're gonna have to speak a
Yeah,
little
that's
louder.
in the microphone.
Here.
You can turn it on off.
Okay. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
All right. As I was saying, $5,283.14 was the starting balance in the bank. We netted $225.29 for the chili feed and $1.50 in a contribution. We spent $50.15 for office supplies and $25 for a gift card. So net income for the month was $151.64. The ending balance in the bank is $54.34.78. Still have outstanding IOUs of $176, which I'm going to take care of.
Any questions on the budget, on the treasurer's report? Yeah.
Yep.
No.
I wanted to add one more thing to the treasurer's report. On the back of the treasurer's report you picked up over here, I've added year-to-date income versus budget analysis, so you can tell how much we've took in how much we've earned against the budget and how much we have left for the year. So that's an addition for this month.
So you can see how we spend our money, which is really good. We're very, very transparent here, which we always were before, but now we actually have it on paper. Any other questions with regard to the treasurer's report? Seeing and hearing them, all those in favor of accepting the treasurer's report as submitted, please raise your hand. Anyone opposed? Thank you very much. My report. Well, it's been a busy couple weeks. Let's just get to the headache across the street for a minute. So it's been a busy couple weeks, and we were, thanks to a couple of our residents, and probably a letter from Rita Pelly. That was how we got Channel 5 out here a couple of weeks ago. And they responded to a couple of phone calls, which was really nice. Well, that led us to our meeting here that we had, which the West Seattle blog came and covered, with Jennifer Danner, who brought together a short list of people, but a useful list of people that came. So then that got picked up by a very nice story on the West Seattle blog that Como News 4 contacted me from that article. So about 10 days ago, Como News 4 came and did about 45 minutes with me. And then they were waiting to air the story because they wanted to contact WashDOT, who is the big headache of everything we have to do across the street. So anyway, so Jeremy called back yesterday and said, hey, we're going to air your story today. Let me see if I can find his message and I'll tell you what he said about. He wrote me back yesterday morning, hey, they're finally going to air your story today. WashDOT gave me a statement that basically said, we have a lot on our plate, don't expect much. Anyway, so Jesse came back yesterday while we were in the food bank, and then they stayed for about 2.5 hours. And they interviewed Joe, a couple of other people on the property, and asked me some more questions, and then did more filming across the street. And they did a great story that aired clips at 4 and 5. And then it was the lead story at 6 o'clock last night. It was a great story, very good coverage. And then Cairo News Radio picked that story up this morning, which I had no idea, but one of our residents said, you were on Cairo News. And I said, no, I wasn't. I was on King and Como. He goes, no, you were on Cairo News Radio. So they picked up the story. So I let Jesse know that they had picked up the story. So he thought that was great. He figured that was going to happen. So we will keep in touch with our guy from Como. He's going to be a good help to us and he likes pushing the buttons at WashDOT. So that's good. So anyway, so, you know, we're going to have to think of a new strategy, and I have something in mind, and we'll talk about that probably in the next couple weeks. But in the meantime, you know, let's make sure we're writing to the mayor's office, sending emails. You can go online and pick up the email address. It's very easy. Governor Inslee, you could pick up the email, send something to him. But WashDOT is ultimately the problem because they are the owner of that property. So no other agency can do anything without going through WashDOT. They have to be involved. So that's why we want to go after WashDOT and say, hey, come and do your job. We don't care how, you know, big your problems are. Ours are just as much, and we're the taxpayer for your job too. So anyway, so that's how the circle works. WashDOT is the problem.
Explain what WashDOT means.
Washington Department of Transportation. Okay, so anyway, they are ultimately the problem. So that's who we have to stay on top of. Yes.
Is there anything we can do individually?
Yes, write a letter. Absolutely. That's what I'm saying. Write to WashDOT, write to governor, write to the mayor. Individual letters count more than, you know, petitions ever will.
Right.
Yes. So, Jan? That's because they did road work all last week. No, last weekend they did road work and did all repaving. That's why it's new blacktop. I don't know what you're talking about.
Said the lighting is out. Street lighting is gone.
Well, then contact, you can do Find It, Fix It on your phone and report those lights being out. And usually lights come right back on a Find It, Fix It report. So if anybody else has noticed that, do a Find It, Fix It report on the lights. I wasn't sure what you were talking about. Sorry. Street lights. Yes, they should be back.
Okay.
So I think Diaz and Harold are getting an earful about this property, so I'm still trying to get both of them here. Chief Diaz and Mayor Harold, I'm still trying to get both of them to here. They owe us a meeting and they've agreed for a long time to get here, so I still bug them all the time. Just a reminder, we have not any new cameras installed since the last meeting 4 weeks ago because they're on another property. But currently there are 26 new cameras on this property. So if you're doing something wrong, you're likely to get caught. So I'm just letting you know, you should spread the word. And it's about half the cameras that will be here. Yes. I don't know where they are on the CD. You'll have to just kind of look around the outside of the building, but I know they're not done over in that section.
I'd like to know how the camera footage is monitored.
During the work hours until 7 o'clock, or well, actually not quite 7 o'clock at night, it's monitored on the property. There are 3 cameras going in Jackie's office at all times, and it's broken into sections. And then these guys can watch it on a camera in their office, plus on their telephones. And then from 7 o'clock in the morning or 7 o'clock at night until 8 o'clock in the morning, I believe, it's supposed to be being monitored. So here's an example of something that I'm going to use Sue. Sue was walking around outside the building and somebody had propped a door open. You are not to prop any door open. When you go outside, that door is supposed to close behind you and stay closed. Anyway, it got picked up on the camera and it was after hours. And it should have been picked up by the monitors. So when they are not doing their job, they are getting in trouble. The monitors, it's a company, it's being paid. They're being paid to follow the cameras. So if you are outside and you see something going on that should be being monitored, you can check in the office the next day and say, hey, I noticed this. Was it picked up? And they should be able to check on that. And we were able to verify the one that Sue saw, and it wasn't reported. Marty.
When there is theft on our patios.
I just talked about that today. She's checking the cameras for the last couple days. Yes, absolutely. Yeah, we've got Jan, we've got a couple of people down on the patios. We know who the thief is. We need to get them on camera, and she'll be reviewing those cameras for those nights. I talked to Catherine. Yeah, that was a bad deal. Catherine Gunyon has lost several things out of her garden just over the last couple days, and we're pretty sure we know who it is, and that it is probably across the street in her lovely house and garden. So I had Catherine I had Catherine do a police report. Yeah.
One more question about the monitoring when the door gets propped open and it's left open for maybe a half a minute or something, it sounds an alarm that you can hear it. But the question is about the ones you can hear. When you hear the alarm there, does the alarm also go off in the monitoring station?
I don't know. That's a good question. But if you go outside and you see a door propped open, unprop the damn thing. I don't care who left it open or for what reason. That is your safety. And I don't care if the neighbor gets pissed. They know that they're not supposed to prop the door open. There's a hand up back there.
Do
you know if they found on film the fellow who was had a welder and was doing something downstairs in the afternoon?
I believe there was some follow-up on that. I would have to find out what it was. But I know it was reported and somebody did check on it right away, but that's beyond that, I don't know.
All right, thank you.
But I'm just saying that, there's no excuse for, and people know when they're propping the doors open that they're not supposed to be doing that. And so if they get irritated because you closed it, so be it. Marty.
It's one.
Talk about theft. We had a bicycle theft on property. And back in the day when this became a new, Shag had like 4 or 5 bikes, and we have a bike rack and a locked closet, I think, in the garage. It would be nice if we can reopen that for people who do have bikes.
We're getting a bicycle rack out front.
I don't know if that's going to help.
And I don't know that the bike rack or the bicycles are still in that room. I'd have to check. It's my belief that it's gone.
Yes, and that's fine. But I was thinking if we had the bike rack in that locked closet area, that would even give it more security.
That was the whole point before, was we had a bike rack in there that was not accessible to anybody here because it had bikes that were supposed to be usable by the residents. And that's why I said I don't believe that exists anymore at all. So all I'm suggesting about this, where I started in this comment, is continue to comment about the location of cameras and that they're out there and there's going to be more. So, I'm kind of tired about it. Okay. Yes.
I just want to make sure that everybody knows.
Right. Call the police.
Don't just notice that something's wrong and ignore it.
Dan, you know that there's a problem with you in calling the police because you're considered a frequent caller. I know, but she's talking about when you see things being stolen by someone else, call the police. If your things are stolen outside your door, outside on your patio, which is what's going on this week on our building, call the police, make a report. It's important. The young man from the Boy Scouts came and met with the Memorial Bench Committee. So we've started the process on that. He had some things he has to do. They're required to do paperwork in order to get their project going. So we're waiting now for his paperwork to be completed, and then we'll be meeting again. He was going to meet with somebody in another troop about possibly using the wood from the piano. That was talked about. We talked about how the bench would be secured. He wanted to know if we wanted anything written on the bench or we talked about any number of things. So he had a good idea of what he wanted to sit down and put together as his proposal, that is required for the Boy Scouts. Very excited to know that he had $750 to him use for his use that he didn't have to raise, which is evidently highly unusual for these projects, is they have to raise their own funds. So he's pretty excited that he's got quite a head start. And anyway, very nice young man named Andrew. For those of you who didn't show up on May 17th for the author's night, I have to tell you on a personal note, I was very disappointed about that. I know it didn't get on the calendar, but there were things in every elevator and every lobby. And it was a really wonderful conversation with a man who had everything, and I mean everything. A car, 2 boats, 3 cars, a house in Bellevue, an incredibly well-paid job, and lost it all and lived in his car. Yes.
The recording for that event is on the Garden Gazette.
Well, that's
And
good.
if you go to the front page, you should find the link.
It was really interesting. And, it takes a lot to, put together a little evening like that. It's not, you just don't pop into it. And, it's something that, we'd like to do in the future, but if we don't get people to support it, we can't do it because he didn't come for free. So just keep that in mind. Let's see where we're at here. Oh yeah, we're trying to get Ronald Kessler, who is one of our residents who just wrote a book called Secrets of the FBI. So hopefully we're going to have him do our next author's talk. His book was just published, and you can check it out on Facebook, not Facebook, on Amazon if you want, or your local bookstore. But he has some very interesting stories to tell. Scott, for those of you who don't know, who was our Jackie and Dave's boss for a long time, has left Shag and gone on to another company, but we will probably still see him around here once in a while. He's kind of a fixture and we're going to miss him a lot. Chris Harding will be back again. We haven't got another date for the veterans. John, do you have your hand up?
Question from Diana.
Say who was left, Shay?
Scott Tyson.
Oh, okay, no one I know.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
I mean, a lot of people who've been around for a while know exactly who Scott is. Anyway, he'll be back to do another meeting with the vets, probably June, July, don't know for sure. But last time he helped out a dozen vets. So that was really, really great. Judy.
I know that you were talking about the speaker. You
You need to turn your mic on.
It is. Maybe I need to talk this way. Okay. I saw Joe give him a check. I do not see that written down here.
Because we were reimbursed. His check didn't get here in time and he needed to be paid. So all we did was transfer funds and it arrived and we're done.
Okay, so
We didn't spend any money.
okay,
Yeah.
thank you.
You're welcome. Yeah, even though we try to get everything in on time with Shag, every once in a while they screw up. Yeah. Memorial Day is Monday. Kathy, I've got your stuff typed out for you, so you'll have it in time. She needs some volunteers to help serve cake on Monday. So I don't know if we have a sign-up sheet here, but I'm sure if you show up and you've got a couple of free hands and you can walk around serving cake, that would be great. Kathy would appreciate it. Obviously, the building reps guys will be busy that day because they are part of the ceremony. We start outside at 11 a.m. to walk down to the flag. The Boy Scouts will be here. Norman took care of that for us once again. I'm forgetting something. I don't know what it is, but whatever. Anyway, we'll come back in here, do our normal things, write thank you cards out. We have lots of thank you cards, and the alarm is being set. It's cold. Okay, so I'll be picking up the cake and the flowers and everything for Monday. But if you're not going down to the flag and you want to come in here and help get set up and get ready, that would be great. Kathy, I'm sure you'll have plenty of help. Not worried. Coffee with the Cop is on June 5th at 10:30. Jennifer Danner sets that up for us again, and it'll be good. Maybe we can get them to walk across the street and do some searching for us for some items that belong to us. Maybe we'll do a tour, a tour of the occupied land. No kidding. I'm gonna excuse Jackie today because she promised me an update for tonight's meeting and I didn't get it, but he's had a rough couple of weeks with a resident who there are 5 protection orders against this guy, and Jackie was one of them. And they had to go to court for the 3rd time on the protection order today, but it's all over with, and they came out ahead, but it was quite an ordeal in court today. So I'm going to excuse her for not getting me what she promised today on the update, but she was trying to get the delivery information, which I guess is finally going to be available for the washers and dryers. Yeah. And I also was asking for the delivery information on the wall units, the air conditioning units on the wall, because there's 6 of them being replaced, 1 being repaired and 5 being replaced. So I'm not gonna chew her out for today. I'm sure she was just quite happy today to be able to leave the office. I've gone and it's downstairs with Frank, but I bought a mailbox of sorts that's going to go on the wall for the suggestion box. So I went up to McClendon's and did that. Let's see.
You know when it's scheduled to be installed?
Frank and I will do it sometime next week. Probably someday after the holiday, because they won't be open on Monday. Yeah. Let's see, what else? And I also, where our furniture's been ordered, but I don't know why that's not here on the movie room. It's 9 new chairs. So it's 9 new chairs. So, and then I don't think she remembered to order the garbage can, but out where the smokers are, there's a large garbage can going out there that, you can dump in from 4 sides, but the top is sand. So they can put their cigarettes out and then they can go, into the ashtray or into the ash can. Jan, I don't know the answer to that question. People sit out there, that's why. I mean, I would rather they smoked all under the tree, but surprisingly, Jackie was at our board meeting last week, or last 2 weeks ago, because we just had some conversation we needed to have. And one of the things that she offered to do is to work with Metro to see if we can build if they will help to build a shelter out under the tree on the opposite. Jan, will you stop talking, please? Thank you. Where they sit out there and congregate under the trees out there, and thereby moving all smoking to one area, if they will work with us, because they've allowed us to be out there and make a mess. But if we can get them to actually erect a shelter or let us do that, the goal is to move all smoking away from this building so we're not interfering with people who are living there and it's all drifting back into their apartments. So anyway, so that was an offer we didn't expect. So that's probably going to take her a little bit of logistics to find out exactly who she needs to be dealing with. But that was good. They're auditing the entire garage. That means all cars that are in the garage have to, you have to have a valid plate on your car, valid insurance. The registration needs to be in your name, and you need to have a driver's license. And if those things aren't all matching up, very shortly, you're going to be out of the garage and out of a parking space. And there are some people who are not using their parking spaces properly. It can't be used as a storage unit. That was another thing that she talked to us about at the meeting. And the one thing that came out was external parking is first come, first serve. But the idea is to be polite, and don't come and park in these upper spaces every single day because you can. You might want to leave one once in a while for somebody else who might need it. So there's that. Window washing is going to be on the wish list forever. They're not through with the pressure washing quite yet because they got called to an emergency on another property. But before they finish, they're going to take all the carts that we have and pressure wash them again from top to bottom because they're just gross. The office, now that we have the leasing person here and everybody's here and training will be completed, the office will be back open from 10 until 2 on Saturdays. Probably, hopefully after this weekend. Not exactly sure, but soon. And let's see, the women's restroom is unlocked all the time. The men's restroom downstairs will never be unlocked at night anymore, ever. You're gonna either have to use the women's room, I don't care, or walk upstairs. But if you're gonna use the women's room, take another guy to the bathroom with you so they can stand outside like we do when we use your bathroom. So anyway, but that's the deal on that because you know, too many times, 3 times did they break into the laundry machine, money machine, and there's no other place to put that machine. Bicycle rack is being ordered, community room rentals. Okay. I have not done the one thing that I was supposed to do, but we haven't had time anyway. We're going over the rules and regulations of renting rooms. Jackie, and this is up to her, and I don't know, I'm not going to say it's right or wrong, but she said there's no more, unless it's a family party where the entire family is here and there's children involved in that, you cannot rent the room to have a children's party. Like you want to have your granddaughter's 10th birthday party here and invite 20 kids. She said that's off the list. Okay, but they are going to start doing making sure that all the information is going out correctly for anybody who wants to use the rooms because we've had some inconsistent information. So everybody, we're going to get involved and write up one new set of procedures that both sides agree on. And then they're going to start checking things like the stove and the refrigerator after use in all of the rooms because they don't always get cleaned and wiped out when they're used. And this room has 2 self-cleaning ovens that took me a long time to get. So at least we can keep them clean. So anyway, we're not trying to discourage people from using rooms. We want them to use them. But the last party kind of took it over the edge. Somebody had a birthday party for a grandchild. And they came in and the tables were not put back together. The chairs were on the side. There was confetti all over the floor. The rest of the room was cleaned up, but that was, you know, so Yori had to come in, you know, on 2 days later and put the room back together. And that's not right. Yeah, right. It was bad. And that person did not get their money back. And that's the first time in all the years I've lived here that somebody didn't get their money back. So, Jan?
Like, you know, about barbecue outside, if they can use it.
The barbecue's not ready to go yet. It will be ready to go soon once it's cleaned, and then we'll use the barbecue like we did before. We have instruments or things to use, you know, barbecue stuff that you can check out, and then you'll be able to check out the use of the barbecue just like a room. You want to use the barbecue, you have to clean it. You've got, you know, that's why it's there. So I'm sure that will come up in the not too distant future. Are you standing up because you need something, or you're standing up because you need to stand up? Okay, that's fine. I just want to make sure, Rosemary. Yeah. Block watch report. What have we got as an update, Francis? Anything?
And said that
Marta is the liaison in Bruce Harrell's office.
Marta texted me and let me know that she had got in touch with people that are supposed to be doing the no parking. And that I have a map. It's supposed to be a minimum of 40 feet from on each side of each entrance.
yes,
Yes.
hold on.
But I also received an email from the Department of Transportation. And they came out and looked and said that it was all the side on our side of that street. So I'm hoping
But we're gonna get the no
that they
parking.
actually do it and that they do it in a timely fashion.
Okay, thanks. Thanks.
That's the only update I
Okay,
have.
no, that's great news. Thank you. Emergency committee report. Who's doing that? John?
Billy, what are we doing on the emergency committee?
The committee report, if you,
Okay, you're talking about the proposal. Okay. Just a second here. I have a cheat sheet. I'm John Walling and I'm liaison for the emergency committee. We have building captains in each building, and so I'm the liaison for that. And I help Billy with getting supplies. So I move that members approve an expenditure of not more than $170.
That motion?
I said I move that, which is a
Is-
motion.
is-
Is it? Yeah.
is there a second?
I haven't finished what I was saying. Okay, I'll start. I move that members approve an expenditure of not more than $170 to purchase supplies for hall monitors to last for the remainder of the year.
This expenditure of $176, we have $71 left in the budget from last year. And I can add an amendment that we agree to overspend the budget by an extra $100.
Is that amendment accepted?
Yeah, that's friendly.
There you go. Any comments, questions? We just want to make sure that we're up to date with what we need for everybody. So if there's no questions, then all those in favor of adding $100 to the budget item, please raise your hand. Anyone opposed? Thank you. Thank you, John. See how easy that was? I told you it would be. Good news. And it's taken a while, and for lots of reasons, it doesn't matter anymore. But I finally have an accurate template to go forward with the newspaper. So if you're interested in being on the newspaper, you may sign up before you leave here today, and I will notify you of the meeting. For those of you who are new from, I'm trying to remember 2011, I think. Until 2018, we had a 4-page full color newspaper every other month. And it's a real newspaper with a real newspaper staff. We started it out by a notice that went up, says who's interested in doing this. And 14 people showed up at the first meeting, and there were journalists, editors, writers, authors, publishers. Every single one of us had some kind of a professional background. And it kept us going for all of those years, and it was great fun. And we did lots of good writing on this property, and we've wanted to get it back for a long time. And so we're going to get there now. So if you're interested in being on the newspaper, we'll have a meeting shortly. I have everything that we ever started the newspaper with. So all the rules, regulations, everything we agreed to, the print, the font, everything. So all we have to do is start writing again, which can be really nice. Yes.
So is that going to be a hard copy sent out
Yep. We delivered them door to door
and that money?
from SHAG. They offered to pay for it in the very beginning under one rule, that they have nothing to do with the paper content or comment. They agreed to pay for it years and years ago.
Do they have a budget?
I negotiated the world's best newspaper contract ever with a color printer. We had 4 pages color printing, $286 for 470 copies. Unheard of price. So anyway, we're just very, very, very lucky. Very lucky. Anyway, so that's very exciting news. So hopefully we can get rolling. It'll take us a little bit to get rolling again, but before the end of the year, hopefully we'll see a newspaper again. It'd be very nice. And
Question?
yes,
Is this, thanks, John. Is this newspaper something that just the committee puts together, or do you ask for, like
we had an entire,
articles from everybody?
we have a staff of people who write, but we'll take anything from anybody.
Okay,
Yes,
all right. And,
but come to the meeting if you like to write.
and does this, take away from the Garden Gazette?
Nope, not at all.
Okay, I didn't know.
Nope,
Different.
nope. And
Okay.
John and I are going to talk about a podcast too. Nope, it's all in addition to all the above. You know, we're really lucky on this property because we have so much. And Judy Carr had a couple of people here today doing some art, which was very interesting. And I had a little talk with them. And there's a possibility that we might have found a way to bring some art classes here. So, you know, if you have an idea, bring it up, because sometimes it just needs a little bit of research. Okay, I'm not sure that I have, oh yeah, let's go back to this. Yeah, building guide report next. Parties going on in the buildings yet? C building party? June 21st in the C building. I hope you guys have a great time. There's something else about that date. I don't know what it is. Oh, well. D building. It is the first day of summer, first full day of summer. D building.
You know, and it's going to be about the same time that
I'm waiting for the, Katie and I were waiting until the calendar comes out to make sure we get a good day, but it will be mid-June.
Okay, but you know, you can come out and put it on the calendar. That way you won't get any other conflict.
That would be good.
Yeah. Anything going on in building A? Good. Memorial bench, straight arrow news report, wellness.
Can I speak to the building parties for a second? I was supposed to prepare a money request for building parties, which I haven't done yet. So if you need the money before you get a form to really request it, all I really need is a handwritten form that specifies amount and purpose. And if you give it to me, then I can provide the money.
I'm getting there right now. Wellness project report. I'm sorry.
That's okay. I'm just wondering. John. John, how much money do we get? I mean, Joe, okay. Well, this microphone's stuck in my. Okay, Joe,
Yes.
how much money is a normal, do you give normally for a party?
You get $150 a year.
Okay,
Basically, 2 increments, $75 for each half year.
okay. All right, great. Thank you.
Nope, nothing wrong with that question. Wellness report. Who's doing the wellness report? Oh, I'm sorry. You have to excuse me. For some reason, I'm feeling really weird up here tonight. I mean, really weird. So I'm not sure why. No, but I'm in touch with, I want to say Acacia, and that's not the exact name of the pharmacy in Kirkland, and I'm waiting for him to give us a date. He'll come to do the next COVID booster. And I'm trying to get it done in June, but it might not make the calendar, so you might have to watch the bulletin board. But it will be the latest, greatest shot for those of us over 65. Yes.
They do have the the new booster, the fourth booster at Safeway pharmacy there.
I know, but he'll come here and do it for us and we don't have to do it. But if you can hang on a little bit. Yes, John?
I got a notice from Kaiser Permanente that unless they have a special arrangement with a provider, they won't reimburse for COVID. So can you find out?
Yes, I will find that out.
They haven't, yeah, I already got it changed.
I know, but what he's saying is some insurances will not reimburse now. When the guy from the pharmacy comes and it's covered by the government,
Oh, yeah.
that is all over. So, but I will make sure that question is answered. Yes. Good point, John. Okay, and this is just a reminder at the bottom of my deal, and I know that a couple of you have done this, but not enough of you have done it. And that is to write to Brian Park about what you are missing by not having the resident services coordinator here. I mean, he knows how I feel, how we feel as a group, but it's the impact of individual letters and individual loss, disruption, interference, not being able to have the resources and the help that you need. Those letters are really, really important. And last month's minutes had Brian's address in them. But we can post it I think it's on the Gazette. Is that not correct, John?
Would you repeat the question about the Gazette?
Is Brian Park's address on the Gazette from the minutes of last month?
I don't think so.
Can we get it up there?
Would you send it?
Yes.
Thank you.
Is this a problem across all SHAG?
Absolutely.
facilities? Okay, thank you.
And I don't make no mistake, it was Brian's personal decision.
An idea that came up when I was with another group of people was that if you belong to some organization, say, Craft Club or Block Watch or whatever it might be, take a little bit of time during your meetings and get together some stamps and envelopes and cards and make it a writing session. And so everybody is there together supporting each other and writing individual letters to Brian. But, you have each other to encourage the process. Okay, that's all.
That is actually an absolutely excellent idea. Francis.
Well, I just checked box of cards that I'll bring. Okay, did everybody sign in? Okay, let's go to.
A microphone. Saturday night, tomorrow night is Norman's last DJ night with us. So even if you don't normally come, it would be really nice if you would at least stop in tomorrow sometime after 6 and before 9 and just say thank you to Norman. He's getting tired. Everybody knows that, his health is not great, so I'm not blabbing things under HIPAA here. But we really do want to say thank you to Norman. Thanks for keeping the secret all week, everybody, that I know you have. He's going to be quite surprised tomorrow night, but it would be really nice for people to just drop in and say, thanks, Norman. Because he's also the one who has arranged always the pipes, the drums, the Boy Scouts, the JBLM for Veterans Day and Memorial Day ever since he's been here. And I think a lot of people don't realize that that's been him. So let's come in and say, thank you to Norman and make it a big night for him. And we'll have some fun. And I know he's really excited about this last music that we've had, that he's put together. His playlists are his babies. Is Teresa Fuentes here by any chance? No, Teresa. We have a new, Sue.
I just wanted to add to that, you mentioned the surprise and you didn't tell everybody doesn't necessarily know what that is.
Take that off can you shut it off for a minute, John?
I think it'll pause.
Yeah. In case anybody listens, laugh but it might not be over for
Let's see if I can, I've never paused YouTube before, so, well, just a second.
Anything else, Mike?
No, my only choice is to stop it.
But we've had cards going around all three buildings all week and collecting donations. Thank you cards for Norm, and he is not expecting this, and he's gonna lose it when we give it to him, I'm telling you right now. But whoever's got the 2 cards tonight, I need them tonight, because I will be converting everything that we have to gift cards, and that's what we're giving him is gift cards. And we have a couple of extra gift cards because we were given a nice gift yesterday at the food bank. Thank you again, Sue. And whoever's responsible for that. But a couple of us decided we didn't need those gift cards, so we're adding those to Norman's stuff. So anyway, it's going to be fun. And if you haven't signed Norman's card, and there's 2 cards here in the room, so you can sign those before you leave, that would be great. But that's anyway, we've kept that quiet and away from Norman all week. So let's hope we can get there tomorrow night as a total surprise.
Still get mine? Or
Absolutely. Either one of those back there or me, it doesn't matter. It's all coming to me shortly, and then I'm gonna go spend it. No, I'm joking. No, but there'll be snacks tomorrow night. The music is always fun with Norman. He always has a theme, and his playlist is always based on the theme. And so this one, I think 60s and 70s. So it's our music. It'll be fun. But anyway, back to the other news. Teresa Fuentes from the A building, who is now our sunshine person, took it upon herself to talk to Norman, and she is going to be our new DJ. And she's going to continue the DJ shows, and Norman's going to help her with equipment. So that's going to be really fun. And that's, I have to tell you, we struggled for a couple of years here with the pandemic and things kind of slowing down and not being what they were before. But the last 6 months, with the new people that have moved in, almost everyone who has moved in probably in the last 6 months has joined in something and offered to help and has showed up and wants to do stuff. And I mean, it's just great. In fact, Mike is not here tonight. New guy in our building who helped serve the cake with Kathy is going to be our barbecue king for the 4th of July. So things are turning around here, and it makes me feel so good because it's been a struggle. And so that's the next thing we have to sign up for is volunteers. If you want to volunteer, Stephanie, where are you? Stand up, raise up. 4th of July, volunteers are going to need to see Stephanie, or otherwise she's going to give you a call. But we just do hot dogs and, beans and stuff like that for 4th of July. It's a straight 4th of July party, and it'll be fun, but that we'll have it. But Carl, yes, and Carl sadly is, his health is declining daily. So he's been our barbecue guy for the last 2 years, but we, not going to have that. Stephanie needs a microphone.
Oh, I didn't know how many people were sitting behind me because I've been sitting looking that way the whole time. And I got up and I went, oh, this is all that's here. So I'm talking to I'm preaching to the choir. I have a list of people who volunteer. It's very small. In the when did I start doing this? About 3 months ago? In that 3 months time, we've had at least 4, if not 5 functions that I had to go and get 2 and sometimes 3 volunteers for. And they're the same people. I have to keep calling the same people. There are several folks who just can't do it, who want to, but for different reasons, like they can't stand for very long or they can't walk without a walker. And I'm trying to figure out a good way to encourage the rest of the population to start taking part and to volunteer. And I would especially like to see more men volunteer. Sometimes there's things that having a man in the room is really helpful. So if any of you have people you can contact, talk to, who you live next door to, and suggest to them that if they have the ability, physical ability, and some free time, if they'd be willing to volunteer every now and again. And then I would get them on my list. And the nice thing about a long list is that then when I have to call 2 or 3, I'm not calling the same people like 2 or 3 weeks apart from each other, because then you get burnout. If folks don't want to volunteer anymore, they'll make, even if they're not, even if they're available, they will tell me they won't do it for whatever reason. They'll make up a reason or they'll say they're leaving or something like that. So we just need more people to step up.
I just want to say that, I know a bunch of, especially when I first got here.
Down here.
I can't stand full time, that's okay, but I'm fine.
Okay. But they want to hear you. They want to hear you. Okay. When I first got here, I was asked to volunteer and I did volunteer for some things, even though I can't stand for very long and I use my walker. Things like sitting down and being on the relish line, or, chopped onions, whatever, 4th of July, getting ready. So, I'm totally willing to do that. And that's something I can do.
Thank you. And we appreciate all volunteers. Loretta.
I put my name on the list for volunteering. I can count on my hand how many people have called me to ask me to do something.
Not gotten the names?
I don't know why,
Let's figure out if you got the right number.
but when you see me, or, yeah.
Okay. Good point, though. If you're on there and you're not getting called, we need to find out why.
The contact information.
That's correct, right. Okay, so 4th of July is coming up. Juneteenth. That's the other big thing. Juneteenth is on the 17th of June. Wait till you see the posters. I made really cool ones. But anyway, that's going to be really fun. There's a whole event planned, dinner. I think I don't know what the event is completely, so I'm going to stay out of that right now because I don't want to give the wrong information. And then, of course, Michael Powers will be here to play music again. So that's going to be really, really fun. And I think there's a whole committee working on that. So I'm not sure, Stephanie, if she's in need of any other volunteers, I'm not aware of it. I think they have a whole committee.
Okay.
So that's Juneteenth, July 4th. I think we're good on everything else for
Comment
big
from the
things.
back.
Yes,
Would you please check on the date of the party?
is June 17th, Saturday,
So we're not actually doing it on June.
not on the holiday. No, we're doing it on Saturday. Are you confused, Kathy? Well, the 18th would be Sunday. Yeah, I think part of the reason it's on the 17th is because the availability of Michael Powers. And then that left the holiday for some people who participate in the event here to be able to go to other events on the 19th, which is nice. Okay, so I think I've covered everything that my brain has forgotten tonight. So let's see, who won last week? Bobby, are you in the room? No. Barbara is not in the room either because I gave it to her, but she's not in the room.
18.
I know, but it's not. It's Saturday the 17th. Is Mika in the room? Okay. So none of our winners from last month is in the room. So who's at their meeting for the first time tonight? Anybody? Gretchen, stand up and introduce yourself and tell us what building you live in.
Hello, I'm Gretchen. Hi. Hi, I'm Gretchen Kahusky. I moved here from Alaska, where I lived for 32 years, Francis, and I'm growing tomatoes. Anyway, I'm in building D.
Thank you. So Gretchen, if you will pick a number between 1 and 32, that will, Steph, what do you have?
2. Oh, Barbara.
Barbara from, oh, we have another first timer?
Yes.
Oh, you want to stand up and introduce yourself too?
Just a second.
Welcome, by the way.
Yes. Just need that.
Okay, I'm Barbara Montgomery. I've lived here for 2 years, but this.
Oh my God.
We love that. I had a husband that I was 24/7 full-time care and couldn't get away, and he died last month. So I'm getting.
We're
out
sorry
now.
we're sorry for your loss.
Thank you.
But welcome here.
Building.
Yes. Back to Gretchen. Yes. Okay, so if you'll pick a number between 1 and 32, that will be the winner of our gift card. Number 27 is Jennifer Dunham. Yay!
Not allowed this time. You have to spend it. Not allowed.
Get up and take it. And next month you'll get to pick the lucky winner.
Would
John.
you like to offer another gift?
Yes. What do we have?
$20.
Okay, Barbara, the lovely Barbara Montgomery, if you would like to pick a number between 1 and 32, not number 27, we'll have another gift card. Number 18, and that is Shelley Thomas, the lucky lady Shelley. It's nice. It's appreciated when you pay things forward like John just did. It was really fun. That's really fun. And thank you very much for doing that, John. So, do we have anything else under good of the order? John?
Yeah, I just want you to know that I did hit pause on the YouTube, so hopefully it worked. And I will post it on the homepage of the Garden Gazette. So if you know somebody who wanted to come but would like to see what happened, it's on the garden.
Francis, good of the order.
Stay hydrated. Drink plenty of water. Even if you're not thirsty, drink water. If you start sweating profusely, or if you quit sweating altogether, you'll call my exactly. Drink Pedialyte, drink Gatorade, vitamin water. Anything that has electrolytes in it will help. Put wet cloths over your head, around your neck, under your armpits, wear loose easily. Remove the soft, removable clothing. It's something that is very and light.
And if it's 90 degrees or above, there will be water in the refrigerators. So.
And it's about 30 degrees hot inside.
Then outside, right. Anything else under good of the order? Yes.
I'm just wondering if I'm wondering if John, before, when we had news about across the street, it was on, I think, John's blog or something. Didn't you have it? Well, I'm wondering if you're going to have that with some of the things that are coming up now. Like yesterday, there was
I'll try to answer that.
Yeah, you can go to Como News 4 for yesterday and pick it up. And I think the podcast from Cairo, it's the Gus and Ursula show on Cairo News 7 Radio News. I'll send it to you.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
I'll post it.
I sent them an email and told them if they were interested in talking to me, I was available and gave them my phone number. So, okay, anything else under good of the order? Seeing and hearing none, motion to adjourn is in order. Any, all those in favor? Thanks so much. We're gonna show a movie now. I'm gonna go make some popcorn. Hang on.
So you can say that stuff. That stuff is on the list. The emergency can- It would- First, it's going to ask the motion to purchase.
Yeah, send this to, she shared it with Diane. I'm not sure where else it's at.
Yeah.
You saw it?
I saw that.
So we're gonna have to make some changes, but it would stay under the. When I made up the list, Diane had made a purchase of 14 lots. And they don't have batteries, so what I'm gonna do, I was gonna order. These short, in the list that you got, there are these small. The good was I won't buy one. Instead, I will just. You can talk to her and see. For new flashlights. She got 14.
I'm just curious about how the physical purchase is gonna happen. Is it check first, or you got something to buy it?
Oh, I see, okay. Yeah, in the past, what I've done is I just place the order and I turn out and submit it to. Either, well, it can either go to the. If it's approved, I will assume to them. So that's, so what I was doing is I would order it. And once I've got the order done, then I will, you, Amazon, you can print out. And it makes print out
Yeah. So basically, it's just gonna come from Amazon with the buy. We can buy them, debit card, the AGRC debit card is supposed to be on Amazon.
Well, if you want, see, the reason I like to, unless it's a straight. My concern is that something in translation, because I've already got a list. What I've done, what I did was, I just wanted to have it in the shopping. So all I have to do is make a couple of adjustments, is just say. That's all I have to do. So, it is, so if it's a simple purchase, then using the debit card is fine, but if it's a multi-part list of things that I have to translate, I have to transfer that list to you. If you're ever using debit, I can do that.
It doesn't matter how, I just want.
Okay, what we do normally in the past is what I just described, I place the order for one guy. Print out the invoice, submit it, I get a check, and then I. Yeah.
So you actually make the purchase with one fund. The check is.
Yeah, I do have a Visa, I have a Visa, yeah, Amazon has my Visa card, and I've been using Amazon years.
Okay.
And yeah, because I'm on Prime, you probably have Prime too, but I have Prime, so there's no shipping. So it's really, yeah, because I have everything already lined up in the. I have to do
Okay, that's a separate way, so basically, it's in your report until I get an invoice and I just read it first.
The invoice and you know exactly what was purchased.
That's great. Okay.
It's that's what we.
Yeah. Well, it's easy to return things that Amazon
No,
do.
if you just write a check, I mean, this is too hard. And I will pay the quarterback in business.
The one that has the yellow shirt on might have been here. Right.
Is that the movie?
I've got to pack up.
And we don't recognize her, but there are so many folks here that I've never. I know, yeah, it's cool. Diana. Oh, wow, this is cool, because see what, so we never tried to do that. Yeah, those are good. Those too. Those are good.
See, that, you just go that way, and then it's one that way.
Yeah.
Oh, that's funny. That was a good way, and that seat got something even more
Clear in here if you want to.
That's wonderful. So it's very handy to sit like that. So I get, you sit like, probably, so now you put cards on your